There's a session on creating a career action plan. We also have a session on moving up in your career if you're not seeking a new job. And then the final session of the day at 5:30 is going to be a student and alumni panel led by my colleague, Annie Himmelsbach. So hopefully you've already registered for those. If you can attend those live, just register. We will be recording all of those. So even if you can't attend live, register, and that way you'll get the recording afterwards. And then finally, next week, we'll have an opportunity for you to meet with graduate club leaders at our graduate club fair on Tuesday. So at the graduate club fair, there'll be various Zoom breakout rooms, and each breakout room will be hosted by a graduate club. So you'll get to meet with the club leaders. Also, a reminder that we do have some welcome videos for you, one from the dean. We have one about academic integrity, a video from the Career Center, a video from Beth Fagini, who's the director of the Office of Graduate Programs, and a video from Paquita Davis-Friday, faculty at Baruch, who is on the Ziegler Task Force on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Okay, so first I want to turn it over to Professor Harrell from the QMM department.
Hi, everybody. So I am from the QMM or OPR part of the department. In our department, we really have 3 legs. One is CIS, for Computer Information System. One is STAT, for Statistics. And one is the QMM, for Quantitative Method and Modeling. So you also notice that the abbreviation for each course is OPR, and OPR is really the abbreviation for Operation Research. So many names are attached for this discipline, and the names are changing from time to time. Operation Research, Management Science, QMM, Analytics, which is more recent, and so on, which is basically a combination of what we have in the department. Computer Information Systems, Statistics, and mathematics or quantitative method. And what we try to do is really to model, to take a business problem, business situation, to use the computer and to use the knowledge of modeling to be able to formulate the problem, to solve it, and then to try to implement it. So and this is basically what we have in the program. Now, our program has 5 required courses, which is one is a database management course. Another one is an introduction to quantitative modeling. The third one is simulation modeling and analysis. The next one is basic software tools for data analysis. And then you have applied regression analysis. Now, from all those courses, you need to keep in mind that the introduction to quantitative modeling, which is OPR 9721, we offer it only in the fall. Every year, only in the fall. On the other hand, the simulation, modeling, and analysis, we offer it every semester, only in the spring. So you must keep it in mind, in particular, if you are a full-time student, that you want to finish as soon as possible, so you should keep it in mind. So other courses are offered every semester. At least so far, we offer these courses every semester. So over there you have more flexibility. Now, you should also know that our program is very flexible because in addition to the elective, or in addition to the require all the elective, you have a lot of freedom as long as you have the prerequisite, and then you can take any course in the department that you have the prerequisite. And also any course, any graduate course from the Department of Mathematics, if you have the prerequisite and the course is open for our student. So that will give you a lot of flexibility. In addition, other quantitative courses in Ziklan, you may take other graduate quantitative courses, but to take other quantitative course, you need my permission. And I give the permission if I judge those courses to be really quantitative in nature. So in particular, you should ask my permission, but you plan it ahead, because in particular, if you are a full-time student, you want to prevent situation in the future that you do not have the prerequisite for the student for the courses that you want to take. So you need, first of all, to decide what you want to do, where you want to focus, which direction. And we have students that took all directions: statistics, computer information system, combination of the two, or even statistics and some other courses in the business school. So the flexibility is very large. One thing that you want to keep in mind for many of the advanced courses in statistics, one of the key prerequisites is a probability course that the number is stat 9715. So the probability is a course which will open for you more advanced courses. It also requires that you have more advanced in calculus. So do your homework, decide what you want to study, look at future courses or what courses we offer, learn what are the prerequisites, and focus in that direction. So I think, because I see we have quite a few students, I think that I'll keep more time for you to ask questions, so I'll stop here.
Great, thank you. So does anyone have any questions? Do you have any questions for Professor Harel about the QMM curriculum, registering for classes, what classes to take, or questions about the classes? If you do, just either type it in the chat or raise your hand, your blue hand, and I will call on you, and then you can unmute. So again, any questions for Professor Harel, either type them in the chat or raise your hand in the participant window. Raise your little blue hand, I'll call on you and you can unmute. Okay, looks like we have a question. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, Alay?
LA is correct. Hi. I just have a quick question for the advising session prior the next semester. I mean, like, for example, for spring semester, do we need to have this one-on-one advising session, or we just write an email with the courses that we want to get to register for spring semester and get the approval or a permission? How does that work? Like,
Okay, so as I was trying to explain before, the only permission that you need is if you want to take quantitative courses which are not in the department, in Zicklin, but not in the department. So in that case, you need to ask my permission. But because I assume that most of you are a first year student, I suggest that you focus first of all on the required courses. That will open for you other courses. And if you want to take elective, as I mentioned, the probability course is one in the department, you don't need permission. So the only permission that you need is later on in the program if you want to take elective, which is not in the department, and it is quantitative in nature. Then you need to email me with the syllabus of the course so I can judge if the course is quantitative enough to give you that permission. And otherwise, you should keep in mind that the professor has no control on CUNY first registration, and also no control with respect to the waiting list. Wait list is something that we, the professor, have no control. So keep it in mind.
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Does anyone else have other questions for the professor? You can raise your hand, your little blue hand. I'll call on you, or type it in the chat. Daniel, do you have a question?
Hi, I'm just curious with like the flexibility of coursework, do people within the quantitative methods and modeling often pursue like a second master's because they've already done so much coursework within a certain discipline like statistics or CIS?
It is possible, it is rare, but some students did it, in particular students did it when they finished all the requirement and they wanted to stay more in the program or to study more, so it is possible to do it. It requires some spatial tailoring because some of the courses are overlap in the different departments. So the answer is it is rare, it is possible, but only when you finish the program. Then you finish almost about to finish the first master.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Daniel. Do others have questions at this time? Tang?
Hi, thank you. Hi, Professor Harry. I have a question. So, since I didn't got my evaluation ready, so but I'm still trying to register for my class. So when I trying to register class, so for example, the OPR 9721, which is the introduction to the quantitative model. So that course, when I click the button, try to enroll, it says I need the prerequisite class, which is STA 9708. So because I didn't get the evaluation sheet, even though I take those prerequisite class before, so how can I get waived to enroll in those introduction quantitative model class?
Okay, excellent question. Hopefully, you will get the evaluation very soon and you will not have a problem because if you do not have the prerequisite, what you should ask me by email, explain that you have the knowledge, that you took the courses before, and ask me. The only thing that I can give you is to take the course 9708, the stat prerequisite, instead of prerequisite as a co-requisite. I can give you with that email and that explanation of that knowledge, I can reply to your email and tell you that I granted your request to take it as a core requisite. You still will not be able to register with the CUNY first, but with my email, I believe you should be able to go to the advisor from the MS program advisor, and with my email, they will be able to register you to take the course and as a core requisite with the STAT course. Hopefully, there will be room in the two courses. And that again, something that I cannot control. But now it becomes a core requisite, so you need to be able to register to those two courses. Now it is very important, in particular if you are a full-time student that want to finish as fast as possible, to be able to take the 9721 in the first semester.
Okay, thank you. And I will send you my detailed information by email later on. Thank you.
Thanks for your question. I put in the chat the link to the email for the MS Programs Advisor, and that also has the professor's email as well. It shows the email actually for all faculty advisors at Baruch, so you should be able to get the information you need there. Any other questions at this time about classes, coursework, registering? Questions about classes. You can raise your blue hand or type it in the chat. Going once, going twice. Okay, Daniel, do you have a question?
I just wanted to, I thought I heard something. I just want to make sure I heard right. Because I had registered for two. I'm a part-time grad student, so I'd only registered for a couple classes. Did you just say that introduction to quantitative modeling is important to take before the other operations classes?
Okay. If you are a part-time student, it is not that important, but there are full-time students that would like to finish as soon as possible. The shortest amount of time is 3 semesters. Now, if you, so it is advised for those full-time students that would like to finish as soon as possible is to start first semester with the OPR 9721, because the follow-up course, which is simulation, is in the next semester. So if you don't take it this year, it will take you at least 2 years to graduate. But since you are a part-time student, it is not that important for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We also have a question that came up in the chat from Syed. Syed asks, for part-time students, are there any limitations on how many semesters you need to complete the program in?
I have some vague memory of something like 7 years, but don't quote me on it. I'm not sure about it.
Okay, thank you. I thought it was around that time as well. That would definitely be a question for the academic advisors in the Zicklin Graduate Programs Office. But I believe it's a pretty lengthy amount of time, and there have been exceptions made. If you need more time, you can petition for that. Other questions? You can raise your hand or put them in the chat. Okay, So let's move on. Professor Harrell will stay on in case there are more questions that come up for him. Now I'd like to move over to our second speaker for tonight, which is an alum from the QMM program. Ying Wen is here to join us. Thanks for joining us, Ying. If you could just introduce yourself and tell the group why you decided to pursue the QMM program at Zicklin.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Ying Wen. I am a QMM graduate, newly graduate from Baruch in May 2020. And the reason why I decided to pursue QMM program is because first, this program is perfect for me to design my own program. Like I can, based on my background, I can choose whatever the knowledge I need at this moment. And also it provides me the flexibility to explore more topic on other objects. So I am currently working as a developer building a web application for the New York City government. And I'm actually working in IT industry, but I'm trying to switch my career to machine learning industry, which requires me to have the ability to analyze the problem using statistic knowledge. So the first thing for me to learn is statistic. Also, in order to provide the intelligence of the business insight, I also need to learn how to quantitative the real world problem using quantitative method and modeling. Also, I'm particularly interested in finance industry. And also I noticed that QMM also provide us the ability to enroll one of the course from math department, which is the risk management, which is a very good course which teaches a lot of finance and risk management knowledge. So because of the variety of the course provided by QMN and the flexibility for me to adjust based on my need, I decided to pursue this degree.
Great, thank you so much. Another question for you is, what resources or areas of support did you rely on or use during your time at Zicklin?
Yeah, I have to say that GCMC helped me a lot on pursue my career and helped me a lot on how to reach out to the alumni resources in the city. I feel it's very useful for every student that you should go out one step to know what is the alumni resource you can use. You can ask your question to the alumni who just graduated recently or who just graduate years before, because maybe they have the same question with you at your stage, right? So they already gone through the process, so they have a lot of things can help at this moment for you. And I actually get help from one of the alumni that he helped me revise my resume line by line very carefully, and provide me the instructions how I should design my career, what is the resource I can use. It's very helpful, and I feel like we should making more use about the alumni resource. Either GCMC is a great resource, or also we can use LinkedIn to approach whoever we want to. And also, yeah, I forgot, yeah, I have to mention that Writing Center is a great place for the new student who is like uh, an international student like me, because they can help us revise the resume again line by line, and how to do the cover letter, and how to make a LinkedIn page, etc. Also, GCMC provide tons of service you can use. Like, for example, I took my um, professional picture on LinkedIn, that is from GCMC, and also GCMC can help us to get a professional business card, which is like very useful if we go to an event. Yeah, thank you.
Great, thank you. I also want to make a suggestion to look into EOC. EOC is the Executives on Campus program at Baruch. Ying mentioned how important it is to connect to alumni. And EOC is a great program that you have access to as a student that helps you connect to mentors in your industry of choice. They have a year-long academic advising program, a year-long mentoring program where you would be paired with a mentor and you would meet with them on a monthly basis to talk about your career goals. So definitely check out EOC, the Executives on Campus program at Baruch. Okay, Ying, just one more question for you before I open it up to questions from the group. My last question is, what classes or specific tools or technologies that you learned in Zicklin do you think helped prepare you for the real world, for your job now?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Actually, here I learned the different tools for data mining and modeling. Like we use the Excel to do the quantitative model, and use the Python to do the simulation project, and use the Python to do the machine learning project, and R programming to do machine learning some assignment as well, and also SAS programming. And I think the most useful one would be Python, like from my own perspective, because that is a widely used tool for modeling and the data data mining industry.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to just open it up again to you all. What questions do you have for either Ying, our alumni that's here, who went through the program? So either questions for her about what it's like to be a student at Baruch, questions about resources and services on campus, or we also have Professor Harrell, the faculty advisor for QMM, that's here with us. So if you have questions as well about the program and courses, you can ask those now. So it looks like we have a question from Alay, if you want to unmute.
Hi, Ying. Thanks for the good information that you shared with us. I just have a question about the softwares that you mentioned. Did you have any knowledge of the softwares prior you start the degree? And which courses from the elective courses do you suggest if someone wants to get involved with more softwaring assignments?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. Actually, I do have a coding experience before I joined this program. So most of the program I actually learned by Google. But you know I know how to analyze those questions using the coding as a tool in the class. So if you want to, I'm not sure if your goal is to do a more IT job or a more data analyst job. If you
I mean,
want
like
to
more on the data analysis.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
So I would recommend you first professor suggested you first complete the 9715, which is a probability course. Then I think you have ability to register on the data mining course. There is a STA 960. It's called data mining. This course is going to give you a broad picture of how you are using the model in machine learning. And if you want to like using program to model to do, if you want to writing more code, I would say there is a, I don't remember the course name. I remember there is a course called Big Data. I haven't registered that course, but I went to the course one time, and that professor is um, using Python code for all the semester. Big Data. Check this one. Yeah. So in that course, the professor, will guide you how to use Python to do data analysis and machine learning.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you, Yang. I think we need to hire you as an academic advisor here. You're so informative. Other questions, either for our alum or a professor here. You can either type them in the chat or raise your hand. While you're thinking of questions you might have, I just wanted to let you know that I put in the chat the link to the Baruch EOC Executives on Campus program. Just a heads up, the deadline to apply for their year-long mentoring program is September 2nd. So it's once a year, so you don't want to miss out on that. So if you want to apply, which I highly suggest for their mentoring program, you need to apply by September 2nd. Any more questions? Just making sure I don't miss anyone.
Yeah, just to add up to previous question, I think I haven't checked, but I believe there are lots of courses from CIS title. You can check it out, see which kind of program language you are interested in, and try to research on that course and take that one.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? You have the undivided attention of a faculty member and an alum that went through the program. Definitely now's the time if you have any questions. Take advantage. No? I guess we were that thorough, hopefully, and you came and got what you needed tonight. If you have, again, any further questions about classes, registering for class, the link to the academic advisors I put in the chat. I know they're doing walk-ins. They are a little bit behind right now with the start of the new semester. So if you're waiting during walk-ins, they suggested to either connect with your faculty advisor. In this case, it would be Professor Harrell, who's on tonight, who also offered you get in touch with him if you needed to swap out a class or get permission from him for an elective. And in addition to that, just keep in mind that as a new student, you have access to the Career Center. So it's myself and 4 other coaches. So we have a team of 5 career coaches. And we work with you whether you are thinking of making a career change or advancing in your current career. And you have free lifelong career services. So that's definitely a perk of your program, unlike other programs that have you pay once you're an alum. So just wanted to mention that. So when will your Baruch email become active? That I unfortunately don't know the answer to, but that would be a question for academic advising. I think they should be able to answer that question for you. I imagine it should be soon, given that you're starting classwork soon, but I would email academic advising. Sorry, I don't know the answer to that, Daniel. Other questions? No. Okay. Well, I think that is all we have for you tonight. Hopefully, you got something out of tonight's session. Thank you, Yang, and thank you, Professor Harrell, for being on here. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.